Hi everyone, welcome to the fertilizer video. Now I wouldn't talk about a subject that's as dry and boring as fertilizing without showing you folks something interesting. So what I have here is a very heavily overgrown bougainvillea. However, it didn't look like this always, and in point of fact, just 8 or 10 weeks ago when we started the current fertilizer program, it looked something like this. Alright, now that you've seen the results, the difference between the before photo and the way this tree looks like now, we're going to do a little bit of pruning on this tree and talk a little bit about the fertilizer that we're using and how it's applied. And then after we do that, we'll show you one more bougainvillea, again to show the results of the current fertilizer program. So let's get to work on pruning this back and dealing with our overgrowth here. We'll just start taking off places here and try to get back to where I had it before I started this. And frankly, I'm very happy with the results of the fertilizer that we're using. You can see it right here in front of us. This is Miracle Grow's Organic Choice. I don't know if this is totally new or if it's just new to me, but I found this at my local big box store. And I looked at the values on it, and that was a big part of my choice of why to use it. Now I just want to pause the pruning here for just a minute and talk a little bit about what I'm talking about on the values. On every fertilizer you will see 3 numbers down here on the container. And these numbers in this case, 1200, indicate nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They call that the NPK numbers. Now, this fertilizer here, blood meal, is very high in nitrogen, and nitrogen is what fuels leaf growth. Now, the other fertilizer I'm using, bone meal, has nitrogen, and it also has phosphorus, and phosphorus is typically used to stimulate flower bud growth. And after we finish trimming back this bougainvillea here, I'll show you another one and show you folks the result of a goodly application of phosphorus. So we're just going to continue pruning this here and try to get back here. This won't be a lengthy exercise, but we are taking a lot off because, like I said, this tree pushed some rather tremendous growth. That will take to there, and this will take to here. Now, bougainvilleas, if I'm early in the season or late in the season, I like to leave a little extra on top so that it doesn't die back later on. And here, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to right there, and that's going to about finish the pruning of this bougainvillea. So here it is. You saw what it looked like, heavily overgrown, and now we've kind of reestablished its contours, and we'll talk a little bit about applying the fertilizer. Now I'm going to go with the bone meal, which is to stimulate blooming, because this one has done a lot of vegetative growth and hasn't really bloomed a lot this year. Now I take my little scoop of it here, and I got this with some other fertilizer somewhere, and we just sprinkle it on the surface of the soil. Now there aren't a lot of worries about over-fertilizing with organics because the tree will take whatever it needs. With chemical fertilizers you can use too much and burn the tree, but with organics that's rarely a concern because like I said, it'll percolate through the soil and the tree will take what it needs. Okay, now let's set this tree aside and we'll show one other bougainvillea, and that'll conclude this video. I wanted to show photos of a bougainvillea in bloom since the other one we had wasn't. Now, even though this tree was one of the stars of last week's Tropical Bonsai Roundup video, I felt that it could bear a little bit of a closer examination. Now again, we have a before photo of this tree, and I want to show that right now. Okay, and this is the tree as it is now. You'll notice it has a lot better growth than the before photo. And again, this was a result of our fertilizer program. And again, this one is starting to get a little pale, so we're going to feed it both the blood meal and the bone meal. And the blood meal looks like this. And we'll just sprinkle it on the soil around the base of the tree. And then pour the excess back in the bag. And then the bone meal, we'll add some here. And that's pretty much how we fertilize when we fertilize these. And now we'll take this down with the other one and we'll water them both. Okay, we've got the hose here. We're just going to give the tree a shower with the shower nozzle, and that will water in the fertilizer. You may notice a couple of massive bougainvilleas sitting in the background. I'll give you a little teaser here. We just collected those, and if they survive the process of being containerized, right now they're sitting in the shade until they start to look like they're doing a little better. But if they survive the process of being containerized, then we'll show you the work on those. Thank you for watching, folks.